everyone, it's Mark again. Since I'm taking a break from the Tascam 388 while I'm waiting for a part to come in, I'm gonna hopefully do a little quickie on this Peavey Classic 5050 and see what's wrong with it. All I know is it was not working. The owner replaced the tubes and it's still not working, and that's how I got it. So I don't know why everybody's giving me electronics right now, but apparently this is what I'm going to be doing this winter. So let's get into this thing and I'll show you how I diagnose and fix something when I know nothing about it. All right, here it is. First, I just want to point out, here's a little lesson to Tascam. Look at the instructions I can get straight from Peavey. They're legible, they're organized. I had to do a little formatting, but they're actually useful. So step up your game. And we're inside. And as you can see, like most amps, especially ones with cooling fans, it is pretty dirty. You tend to get some buildup of dust and dirt and cobwebs and whatever else. So I'm going to start. Supposedly these tubes are new, and that didn't solve the problem, but I am going to remove them, get them out of the way. I'm going to pull the boards out, blow them off with compressed air, kind of do what I did with the Tascam, just kind of visually look for anything obvious, any black marks on the board, any bulging caps, see if I see anything obvious. Either way, when I put it back together, whether I fixed it or not, at least I know it's nice and clean, and I'm not going to have any problems something overheating because it's shrouded in a Afghan of dust. So I'll get to it. All right, well that's as far apart as I'm probably going to take it. I don't see anything obvious yet, but I still need to get these cleaned off. As you can see, there's a lot of built up dirt from all the years that it's been in service. I'm going to get out the air compressor and blow these off. Alright, so I inspected all these boards and I didn't see anything obvious on them. So the next step I usually like to do is just check any kind of fuses that I see. And it came with a bag of fuses, so I know he was trying that already. All of those fuses are all good. However, it's one of these guys in there that was hidden and didn't look obviously fuse-y because of the white casing. And appears to be dead. So that little fuse might be the only problem. I'm going to clean some contacts, put this back together, and we'll give it a test. Well, I've got a replacement fuse here. It is a 10 amp ABC. Anyway, it kind of is hidden way back here. Well, having a little bit of deja vu. Plugged it in and the tubes weren't warming up. So the lights are coming on and the fan is running and the fuses haven't blown. So there is something going on, but much like this guy behind me, I'm gonna have to go inside and print out some more schematics and some data sheets and see what voltages I'm supposed to have where. I think it'll be another one of those where I call it a night and talk to you tomorrow. Hey everyone, we're back and it's been a couple of days. I've got it running right now. Proof. Hello! The problem that I encountered was the fuse that I had pulled out and replaced. That worked, but then it blew again. So I put in a glass fuse so I could actually see what's going on. And it is blowing at the point that you turn it on. It blows because it gets kind of a voltage or an amperage spike. I can zoom you in and show you a little bit more what I have going on here, but just kind of wanted to show you that it's working. While I'm here though, there is a new problem, and that is that channel 2 standby LED is on, whether the switch is on or off. Channel 1 is working. That LED is controlled by a simple little NPN bipolar transistor circuit, just kind of switching it on and off. I don't know what's going on here. I assume that transistor's bad. I've done some measuring and the best I can tell is that that transistor's bad, and of course they're like a nickel, but I have to order them, so those are in the mail. But I'm going to zoom you in and show you the problems I did encounter. Hopefully that'll help somebody if they're fixing one of these and have a similar problem. Okay, so here we are. You can probably hear the fan running, and if I reposition you, you might be able to see the tubes are actually lit up, which is always nice. There, you can see it. Here's the fuse that keeps blowing, and that is to the heaters. It's only about 6 volts. According to the board, it has a sticker that says 10 amps, but according to the schematic, it says 12 amps. Now I talked to the owner, and he said he'd never replaced the fuse, and the one I took out was also a 10 amp. I'm gonna put in a 12 amp slow blow, just to be sure, because once it turns on, it's fine, but there's a spike, and it seems like after it starts up about 5 or 10 times, it just fatigues the fuse enough to burn up. I'll show right now a slow motion video I took of it powering up, and you'll see how it bends up, and it's only gotten worse. Now it's almost burned all the way through. You can actually see it glow red for a second, but when it's just sitting here idle, it's not pulling that much power. So yeah, we're pulling about 8 amps through a 10 amp fuse. That should be fine. But now I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on, and you can see that voltage spike. If I wanted to drag my oscilloscope out, I could see how far it actually goes, because this only updates, you know, a couple times a second, but you can definitely see it go over 8. Yeah, so that's the point that it keeps trying to blow, this 10 amp fast blow fuse. So I think that'll fix that. As for the LED problem, this is the plug that goes to the LED for the standby channel 2 switch. That is powered by these blue wires, which goes to the switch and back. Now unhooking the switch has no effect on the LED. Obviously if I unplug this, it turns off. I don't like to poke around too much in here when it's on, since we do have lethal voltages in here. This bipolar transistor right here and those 2 resistors controls the LED circuit. This one controls the LED for channel 1, and that's the one that's working. That's the circuit that's not working. I'll show a screenshot right now of that light circuit, and you can see there's not much to it. I mean, either it's getting power and it's on, or it's not and it's off. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that that is probably the culprit. They're cheap, I've ordered them, so hopefully replacing that will be easy. And I've also got some 12 amp slow blow fuses. I think everything else seems to be working fine. Now that I got all the dirt blown out of it, I'm not worried about anything overheating. I don't know what caused the fuse to blow in the first place. Maybe the old tubes were just drawing a little bit less current and the tubes went bad. He replaced the tubes, then maybe these are just a tiny bit hotter. I don't know. I'm certainly not an expert in tube amps. I just kind of have a passing knowledge of them, and I've worked on a few, but I've sure used them a lot, but I've never built one or anything. That's about all I can tell you. I've got some fuses on order, I've got some transistors on order, and just like the Tascam project, I will talk to you later in the week, and hopefully I'll get 2 things out of my workshop. Thanks for watching.